Hello everyone. So today we'll be talking about self-management skills. Now this is the second chapter of employability skill, part A. So let us begin. Now what is self-management? Self-management is basically managing yourself to achieve a goal, a target that you have set for yourself. Okay, and this can be done by regulating your actions, by organizing your time, and being accountable for your own decisions. So it is also referred to as self control or self regulation, where we regulate our emotions, our thoughts, our behavior. So that is self management. For example, you have set a target for yourself that in class 9th you have to score 90% marks. So you are going to manage yourself. You are going to analyze yourself that what all activities you have to do, what all assessments you have to do to achieve your target. So you're going to motivate yourself that okay, fine, I've set the target. Now I have to work to achieve that target. So you are going to manage yourself to achieve whatever you desire. So, why do we need self management? What is the need of self management skills in a human's life? So, the first point is to develop good habits. Now, for example, I want to wake up early. So, I'll be managing my routine. I'll sleep on time. I'll set up an alarm for myself so that I can wake up early the next morning. So, this is how self management helps me to develop a good habit, to learn a new skill. Okay. The second point is reaching goals. Suppose I have set a goal for myself that in class 9th I want to score 90% marks. So I'm going to prepare a timetable for myself and on daily basis I'm going to work on it so that I can reach the goal that I have desired for myself. The next one is overcoming difficulties and challenges. We all tend to have difficulties and challenges in our life. Some people, they fear all these challenges. They think that, oh my God, something miserable has happened to us and now I cannot succeed in life. But that is the biggest mistake that we people do. We have to be strong and keep motivating ourselves to perform better in life. So, the last point is to avoid stress. Now, if we are well prepared for something, if we have managed ourselves properly, we will be able to avoid stress. We will never feel stressed, we'll be relaxed, and we will give 110% if we are well prepared, if we are well managed. Let us quickly see some of the self management skills. The first one is self awareness. Self awareness means to know yourself, your likes, your dislikes, your strengths, your weaknesses. So you should be aware of yourself. The second one is self confidence. Self confidence means having confidence in yourself, believing that you can do whatever task, whatever thing is being given to you. You shouldn't be scared of anything. You should have confidence in yourself. Next is self control. Now, self control is our ability to control our behavior. Now, you must have seen that some people tend to get angry very easily and then they don't have control on their self. They speak in a very rough tone, they do something that hurts others. So, we should control ourselves. You shouldn't be, out of your mind and blow things up. You should control yourself. Next is goal setting. Now imagine having a life where you don't have any goals for yourself. How meaningless that life will be. So we all have some or the other goal for ourselves. We have some targets that we want to achieve. So goal setting is very important. You should know your long-term goals, your short-term goals. Next is self motivation. Now, this is my favorite skill, motivating yourself. It could be in any phase of your life. You have to keep motivating yourself, and trust me, when you start motivating yourself, you'll see the results. Now, the next one is problem solving. Now, we all have problems in our life. They could be smaller problems, they could be bigger problems. But there are people who try to avoid these problems. Now, avoiding is not the solution to a problem. So, we should solve the problems instead. So, we should understand the problem. Instead of avoiding it, we should understand what the problem is and take small steps towards the solution. So we should go step by step to solve a problem. The next one is teamwork. Whenever we are working in a team, we shouldn't be considered about our own self. We shouldn't be self-centered. We should work as a team, because when you're working in a team, you have to work as a team to achieve the goals, the targets that you have set for yourself. So teamwork is again a very important skill. Next up, personal hygiene and grooming. Now, when we have to manage ourselves, then we have to keep an eye on our own self, our personal hygiene and grooming. We should keep ourselves clean and healthy, as we all know that healthy mind resides in a healthy body. Now, the last one is time management. Now, this skill is something that we all should inculcate in our life, completing tasks on time. Whatever we are going to do, we have to keep an eye on the time as well. So, this is a very important skill. Now, let us talk about self confidence. Now, self confidence is a quality we build when we believe in our strength. It means to have trust in one's judgment and ability, believing in yourself that you can do something. Yes, you can do it. So that is self confidence. People who are confident, they can do anything in their life. They can achieve whatever targets they have set for themselves. Now, you too can build your confidence by following some of the tips. The first one is to get rid of negative thoughts. Now, we all tend to have negative thoughts in every day-to-day life. Now, we should avoid these thoughts. If we are going to keep thinking negative, 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 we won't be able to perform better in life. We'll always be depressed. We'll always think negative. And then we are going to make our surroundings, the environment around us, negative. So think positive, stay happy, stay clean and hygienic, chat with positive people. So if you're going to be surrounded by positive things in your life, you'll start developing confidence in yourself. So you should inculcate these positive things so as to perform better in life. Let us now look into the qualities of self-confident people. The first one is self-belief, having faith in yourself. Now, we all know Thomas Alva Edison, who was made the light bulb. Now, this particular scientist had made thousands of prototypes, had performed thousands of experiments to get that one light bulb. So he had belief in himself. He had faith in himself. He might have had repeated failures, but still he knew that he's going to have an amazing product. And yes, he did. He did succeed in life. The next quality is hard work. Now we all are taught to work harder in our life, and we tend to work hard, but sometimes we take shortcuts in our life, and we think that it's okay, it's fine to take shortcuts, but the success that you achieve using shortcuts is also short. So work harder. You shouldn't take shortcuts in life. The example that we're going to use here is Deepa Karmakar. Now, Deepa Karmakar had a flat foot issue. She had a flat foot. Now, people with flat foot, they don't have the capability of, doing physical activities that well. They cannot walk for a longer period of time. They cannot do any sport activity easily. So now this Deepa Karmakar, she thought of fighting this problem. She became a gymnast and even competed in Olympics. So she has won many medals for this, and we should learn from her that how hard work pays. Now the next one is positive attitude. Positive attitude means to have a positive outlook. For example, when you are in a race and you fail, you lose that race. Now we tend to get upset. we tend to get angry. But we shouldn't lose our hopes. We should be positive. Okay, fine, someone else has won the race, not a problem. We will work harder, and next time I'm going to I'm going to win that race. So, having a positive attitude is very important. The next one is commitment. Whatever goals you have set for your life, you should be committed to achieve them. You shouldn't be like, okay, fine, I've set a goal, I'm going to work, and you're not working. You've just said that you'll be working. So you should give your 100% when you have set a goal for yourself. You should be 100% committed towards the goal that you have set for yourself. Now, let us look into some of the factors that help in building self confidence. What are the factors that help us to build self confidence within ourselves? The first one is social factors. Social factors means the society around us, which includes our family, our neighborhood, friends, relatives, school, and even the strangers that we meet. Now, for example, lack of love and attention or excessive criticism on child's mistake can break his confidence and instill a fear of failure in him. He won't be able to talk properly, he won't be able to perform properly. And even overprotecting parenting. For example, parents saying that, oh, my beta, don't do this. Oh, you will hurt yourself. No, beta, please don't do this. This kind of parenting hampers the child's confidence and it prevents him from facing any kind of pain and struggle. So, these are some of the factors that help in building self confidence. The second one is cultural factors. Now, culture refers to the characteristic of a particular society or community. Now, this is reflected in their practices and beliefs. Culture influences a child's development as well as their behavior. For example, some cultures value independence, individuality, and the children from this kind of culture are very outgoing. They want to explore new situations, and these kind of children have more self confidence within them. They want to explore so much, and they have a tremendous amount of confidence on themselves, while some cultures honor traditional values, relations, and obedience. So, children from such cultures cultivate the need to maintain interdependent relationships. The last one is the physical factors. Now, physical factors means the physique, healthy mind, good appearance. These all help in developing self confidence in a person. Now, good looks are always admired and appreciated. So, hence, it affects a person's self confidence. Now, these are the 3 steps that we should follow to build confidence within ourselves. The first one is to appreciate achievements and accept failures. Now, we all love to win races, we all love to win at a competition, but what about failures? Do we take failures in the same way? No. We tend to get depressed. Oh my God, I have lost a match. I have failed in an exam. But we should accept failures. We should work and we should improve ourselves. Okay, the second step is to have a goal and take steps towards it. Now, you should set a target for yourself that I want to achieve this target, and you should work towards it, right? You should try to improve your skills to enhance yourself. The third point is always look at the good side and be happy. We should get rid of the negativity, and we should always look at the positive side. So, these are 3 steps that you should follow to build confidence within yourself. Next topic is strength and weaknesses. Now, we all have strengths, we all have some weaknesses. Strength is basically something that you're good at, and weaknesses are areas of improvement, areas where there is scope for improvement. So we all tend to have strength as well as weaknesses. So what you have to do is you have to sit down, analyze yourself, make a list of what all strengths you have and what all weaknesses you have, what all areas are there where you require some improvement. So work on this. Now, once you have analyzed what all weaknesses you have, you should try to improve those weaknesses. How you have to do that? You have to set a target for yourself. And once you have set the target, use SMART strategy. SMART strategy to achieve that target. Now, what is SMART strategy? SMART. S. S stands for specific. Specific means that you should have a well-defined task. For example, instead of saying I will cover my entire syllabus in time, say I will complete subject A by tomorrow. So specify that what you want to achieve. Instead of focusing on the entire syllabus, focus on one subject at a time. M. Measurable. Make your progress measurable. Instead of saying I will speed up my learning, say I will solve 20 questions in 2 hours. So you will try to see the progress. You should make progress that is measurable. Next is achievable. Set targets that are realistic and achievable. For example, if I say that I will learn whole poem in an hour, say I will read this poem 5 times now. So a whole poem in an hour, if it is a longer poem, it won't be possible for you to achieve it in time. So instead of saying that I will learn the entire poem, say that I will read it 5 times. Now this is something that is achievable, this is realistic. So you should have targets like this. R. R stands for realistic. You should have a realistic plan. For example, saying I will devote 8 hours to my study after school every day. Say I will study 3 to 4 hours regularly. So you see that what is realistic for you, something that is close to reality. Last one is time bound. It tells you that you are progressing at a right pace. Now, if we are not going to keep a track of the time, it won't be helpful for us. For example, I will complete this chapter. Instead of saying this, you should say I will finish this chapter by 8 p.m. Now, you will be able to complete this chapter today or tomorrow, but you should set a time limit for yourself. So that is SMART strategy. This is how you're going to achieve your targets. You should know how to strategize and plan your make a plan so that you can achieve the target that you have set for yourself. With this being said, the last point that I would discuss here is positive thinking. Now we all tend to listen to this every now and then, that stay positive, stay positive, stay positive. But is it easier for us to stay positive? Are we positive enough? No. We should inculcate positive thinking in our life because this is really very, very helpful. Now, how can one stay positive? The first point is by expressing gratitude, being thankful, being grateful for everything in your life, even the slightest or the smallest thing that you have, the slightest happiness that you have. So be happy, be grateful for that. Thank God that something is happening in your life. You should be grateful for every moment in your life. The second point is looking at the bright side. Always focus on the bright side. We all tend to have problems in our life. We all tend to have challenges and difficulties in our life. But if we are going to feel depressed that, oh my God, why have you sent so much difficulties in my life? You will fail. You will keep complaining about it. You should look at the bright side. Even if God has given you some difficulties, take it as a challenge. Okay, fine, God, I know you think that I am capable. That's why you have given so many difficulties to me. I am going to prove you right that yes, I can face all these problems. Now you can also look into this SMILE model. That is figure 2.19. Now smile. Start your day in a positive way. Manage time to relax. Imagine the best in any situation. Learn to take feedback in a positive way. And lastly, express gratitude. So, this is how you're going to stay positive in life. So, I hope you have understood this chapter. If you have any problem, you can write to me in the comment section, or if there is anything that you want to discuss with me, you can email me.